Picture this. Your cat, mid-play, takes a clumsy jump and now they're limping. Or maybe they snuck a bite of something they shouldn't have off your table. Your first thought, panic. Your second, what do I do? Right now. Today, we're going to put that panic to rest once and for all. We'll put together the ultimate feline first aid kit, something every home with a whiskered friend needs. And I promise you might be surprised to learn that its most crucial component isn't even medicine. Cats often seem incredibly agile and indestructible, but their curiosity frequently leads to minor injuries, accidental poisonings, or allergic reactions. And while you're frantically calling your vet or rushing to the clinic, precious minutes can tick by. It's during these crucial moments that a well-stocked first aid kit becomes your best ally. Remember this golden rule. Your pet's first aid kit is there to provide immediate relief before you can get to the vet, not to replace professional medical care. So, let's dive in and start building yours. All right, let's open our imaginary first aid kit. What's the very first thing we'd put in? Bandaging materials, of course. They're the absolute foundation, something you simply can't do without for any cut, scrape, or more serious injury. The star of the show in this category is sterile gauze pads, and I really want to emphasize that word, sterile. When the skin's barrier is compromised, your biggest enemy is infection. A sterile pad ensures you won't introduce any additional bacteria into the wound. And here's a crucial point. Never, hear me, never, use regular cotton wool to clean or dress an open wound. Its tiny fibres easily cling to the wound surface, making them incredibly difficult to remove afterward. This can lead to significant inflammation and slow down the healing process. With gauze pads, on the other hand, you can gently blot around the wound, apply pressure to stop minor bleeding, or simply create a protective layer under a bandage. It's smart to have several packs in various sizes on hand, small ones for tiny scratches and larger ones for more substantial injuries. These are your number one expendable supply. Now that we've covered the wound with a sterile pad, we need a way to secure it. And that's where the real superhero of the veterinary first aid kit comes in, the self-adhering bandage. If you've ever tried to stick a regular adhesive bandage on a cat, you know it's pure torture. It grabs onto their fur like glue, and removing it quickly turns into a nightmare for everyone involved. The animal, already in pain and scared, gets an extra dose of stress. Self-adhering bandages solve this problem with brilliant simplicity. Their unique feature is that they only stick to themselves, completely ignoring fur, skin, or even furniture. You simply wrap it around the injured area, over the pad, make a few turns, cut it, and press the end down to secure it. That's it. The bandage stays snugly in place without slipping, and without constricting the tissues. And when it's time to remove it, it unwraps just as easily, without pulling out a single hair. This simple tool will save a lot of stress and frustration for both you and your pet. Make sure to keep at least one roll of this type of bandage in your first aid kit. All right, we've got our bandage ready, but before we apply it, the wound needs to be properly cleaned and disinfected. And here's where I need to give you a crucial warning about a very common mistake. Please, whatever you do, avoid using iodine, brilliant green, or rubbing alcohol on your cat's wounds. What's perfectly safe for humans can be incredibly dangerous for cats. Their skin is much more delicate, and these harsh chemicals can cause severe chemical burns and a lot of pain. After such a painful treatment, your cat will simply lose trust in you and won't let you near them the next time an issue arises. Instead, you should always opt for water-based, alcohol-free antiseptics. And the undisputed champion in this category is chlorhexidine. It's fantastic at disinfecting, won't sting or irritate, and won't stain your cat's fur. Simply moisten the sterile gauze pad, the one we mentioned earlier, and gently clean the skin around the wound. It's safe, highly effective, and very affordable. Truly an absolute must-have for any pet owner's first aid kit. But what if a wound needs more than just disinfection? What if it needs a good rinse first? Imagine your cat comes home with a scratch, and you can clearly see dirt or tiny bits of debris embedded in it. Just pouring antiseptic straight onto it isn't the best approach. You absolutely need to clean it out thoroughly first. And for this, our first aid kit should contain another simple, yet brilliant remedy: physiological saline solution. Many people know it simply as saline. Essentially, it's a sterile salt solution with a concentration identical to that of blood plasma. This is precisely why it's completely neutral to the body. It won't sting or cause any irritation. It's perfect for mechanical cleaning. You can draw it into a needleless syringe and flush the wound under gentle pressure, effectively rinsing out all foreign particles. But it also has a second, equally important use: eye irrigation. If your cat gets a speck of dust, a piece of debris, or even a stray hair in its eye, saline solution can be a real lifesaver. You can safely and effectively flush out the irritant from the eyeball. It's an incredibly versatile and inexpensive solution that will come in handy in countless situations. So, we've cleaned and disinfected the wound. What's next? Sometimes, especially if it's a deep scratch, you can help it heal faster. There are special wound healing ointments designed for this, but here's a crucial warning. Choosing such an ointment and deciding whether to use it is strictly a vet's call. You should never self-prescribe ointments for your cat, especially those containing antibiotics. However, there is one product that many vets approve for home use on minor, clean cuts: Levomicol ointment. It has a dual action. It fights bacteria and promotes tissue regeneration, but there's a catch. After applying the ointment, you need to make sure your cat doesn't lick it off. For this, the treated area is usually covered with a pad and secured with that same self-adhesive bandage. Levomicol should only be used on small, superficial wounds and only once you're absolutely certain the wound is clean. If you have any doubts, or if the injury looks serious, the first step is always a call or visit to your vet. Let's enhance our pet first aid kit with a few simple yet incredibly useful items. First up are cotton pads, and pay close attention. We're talking about pads here, not just loose cotton wool. They're much more convenient to use because they have a dense structure, don't easily fray, and won't leave behind lint that could get into a wound. They're perfect for, say, soaking with chlorhexidine to clean the skin around a wound, removing dirt or blood. Next, we have cotton swabs. These are essential for the precise application of medication. For instance, if you need to gently apply ointment to a small scratch or treat the corner of your pet's eye. They allow for targeted application, ensuring you don't spread the product all over their fur. These are simple, inexpensive items, but when you need them, their absence can cause significant inconvenience. So make sure to set aside some space for them in your kit. They'll make the wound care process much cleaner and more effective. Let's move on from just the supplies to essential tools. Our first tool on the list is all about safety. We're talking about scissors, but not just any scissors. Specifically, ones with blunt, rounded tips. Why are these so important? Picture this. You need to cut a piece of bandage off the paw of a fidgety, struggling cat. One slit with regular sharp scissors, and you could easily poke or cut your pet, adding insult to injury, literally. Blunt-tipped scissors completely eliminate this risk. They allow you to work confidently and closely to your pet's skin, without any fear of accidental injury. And if needed, they're perfect for gently trimming fur around a wound, ensuring it doesn't interfere with cleaning or get into the wound itself. These are often referred to as tactical scissors or bandage shears. It's a small detail, but a truly vital one, showing your foresight and dedication to your cat's safety. Next on our essential first aid kit list is a good pair of tweezers, but forget those thick eyebrow tweezers. What you need is a fine-tipped, precise pair with sharp, tightly closing tips. Its main purpose is for delicate precision work. With these, you can gently and accurately extract a tiny splinter from a cat's paw. Attempting this with your fingers or a bulky pair will likely break the splinter, leaving a painful fragment deep in the skin and causing inflammation. Secondly, and equally crucial, these tweezers are invaluable for tick removal. If you live in a tick-heavy region and your cat enjoys the outdoors, knowing how to correctly remove these parasites is a vital skill. With the tweezers, grasp the tick as close to the skin as possible, then gently pull it out with a steady, twisting motion. The correct tweezers enable you to do this without crushing the tick's body or leaving its head embedded in the skin, which is absolutely crucial for preventing infection. So, a good, high-quality pair of tweezers isn't a luxury, it's an essential tool. Next up on our list of essential tools, I'm going to talk about an item many people overlook, but its absence can quickly turn a simple procedure into a real challenge. We're talking about a plain disposable syringe without the needle attached. I recommend keeping a couple of different sizes handy, say 2 and 5 millilitres. So, why are they so useful? First, they're perfect for administering liquid medication to your cat. Trying to give medicine with a spoon usually means half ends up on your clothes and the other half plastered on your cat's face. With a syringe, you can gently dispense the liquid into the side of their mouth, behind their cheek, and they'll instinctively swallow it. Second, a needleless syringe is invaluable for helping an animal stay hydrated, whether they're dehydrated or just need a little extra water. You can fill it with clean water and slowly trickle small amounts into their mouth. And third, as we've discussed, it's incredibly useful for flushing wounds or eyes, with saline solution, giving you precise control over the stream. This truly is a versatile, indispensable tool that costs pennies but offers immense benefits. Next up in your first aid kit, we have the electronic thermometer. Understanding your cat's normal body temperature and knowing how to measure it is a fundamental skill for any responsible cat owner. Both an elevated or a lower than normal temperature are among the first and most obvious signs that something might be amiss with your furry friend. These fluctuations could signal an infection, inflammation, poisoning, or even hypothermia. It's crucial to keep two things in mind. Firstly, when taking a cat's temperature, it must be done rectally. While it's not the most pleasant procedure, it's absolutely necessary. Make sure to lubricate the tip of the thermometer with petroleum jelly or a similar oil-based cream before gently inserting it into the rectum. Secondly, remember that a cat's normal body temperature is naturally higher than ours. It typically ranges from 38 to 39 degrees Celsius. A reading of 39.2 degrees Celsius or higher is already a cause for concern and a good reason to call your vet. Anything over 40 degrees, however, requires immediate veterinary attention. Your electronic thermometer is truly your most important diagnostic tool for catching potential dangers early. Now let's talk about a tool that typically belongs in the grooming kit, but can become a medical necessity in an emergency. Cat nail clippers. You might wonder why nail clippers would be in a first aid kit. The simple answer is for managing paw and claw injuries. A cat's claws are more than just sharp tools. They're complex structures with blood vessels and nerves inside. Occasionally, during vigorous play or a misjudged leap, your cat might snag a claw, partially breaking or tearing it. A fractured claw is incredibly painful, snags on everything, worsening the damage, and may bleed profusely. In these cases, you might need to carefully trim the damaged tip to prevent it from snagging and worsening the trauma. It's crucial to do this very cautiously to avoid hitting the quick, but it can be the only appropriate immediate step before a vet visit. That's why a high-quality, sharp pair of cat nail clippers is an essential item to have readily available. Speaking of nail injuries, the most distressing consequence you need to be prepared for is bleeding. If you accidentally nick the quick while trimming your cat's nails, or if your cat tears a claw, the bleeding can be quite heavy. A frightened cat will often shake its paw, splattering blood everywhere, which will only heighten your panic. Stopping this kind of bleeding with regular first aid methods can be tricky. That's why it's crucial to have a specialised styptic product in your pet's first aid kit. This could be a special styptic powder, readily available at pet supply stores. You simply apply a pinch of the powder directly to the bleeding nail tip, and the bleeding stops in a matter of seconds. Alternatively, you can use a silver nitrate styptic pencil, which is sold in regular pharmacies. These are true lifesavers that will help you quickly resolve the issue, stay calm, and keep your home tidy. All right, we've put together quite an impressive kit. But what about that crucial component I mentioned at the very beginning? The most vital and perhaps surprising item for your pet's first aid kit is your own peace of mind. Yes, that's right. When you have everything you need right at your fingertips, you'll react not with panic, but with composure and clarity. Cats are incredibly sensitive to our emotions. A scared owner means a scared cat, and a frightened cat is much harder to help. Your first aid kit isn't just a collection of bandages and medications. It's a tool for your confidence. It transforms a panic-inducing situation into a solvable problem. You know you have the means to treat a wound, stop bleeding, or assist with poisoning. You know who to call. This preparedness is exactly what can save your pet's life in a critical moment. Therefore, by assembling this kit, you're making the most valuable contribution to your furry friend's safety. Thank you for watching this important video all the way through. If you found it helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more tips for caring for your furry friends. Now, a question for you. What items from this list do you already have in your first aid kit? Or perhaps we missed something. Let us know in the comments below. Let's compile the perfect list together.